Hi, it's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to the first episode of Career Coach Office Hours for 2025. I like to spend a half hour or so on Tuesdays at noon Eastern answering questions about job search because I know from experience so many of you make dumb mistakes that prove costly and you don't have a real good advisor to ask for input. So I take some time on Tuesdays at noon Eastern to answer questions. Now, let me just leap right in and say I'm offering something special for the month of January. And that is if you go to jobsearch.community, sorry, my finger isn't seen there. There we go. Jobsearch.community and click on the button that says Become an Insider and look for the Insider option. I'm willing to give you that for free during the month of January. And at checkout, you have to enter the coupon code Insider Free, all caps, Insider FREE, all one word, all caps. And you'll have access to all the video courses, books, and guides and content that's on the site. No charge. Just as an aside, you're going to get the autoresponder series for those who sign up for the newsletter. And I'll simply say, if you want to ignore it. That's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. I just want to help so many more people because I'm seeing a lot of people with the open to work hashtags on their LinkedIn profiles. And it's ticked up since the end of the year. So I'm offering this for January. Enter Insider Free at checkout at jobsearch.community, and you'll have free access to all the video courses, books, and guides there. Okay. Now, if you want to schedule time for coaching, you can do that through the site. You can become an Insider 30 member, an Insider 60 member. You can read about that at the site. But for today, I just want you to think about becoming an insider, or actually becoming an insider for free. No magic here. You become an insider for free by clicking the Become an Insider option, and then click on the Insider membership, and at checkout, click Insider Free or enter Insider Free at checkout, and you'll have access to all the content there. Okay. Now, I also mentioned to you that you can connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Mention that you watch this. I like knowing I'm helping some folks. And once we're connected, my first level connections are going to become your second levels, and that's going to expand your network a lot. So again, become an insider member at jobsearch.community and connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. One thing I want to mention to you is I get asked regularly whether someone should become a LinkedIn Premium member. And my advice for today is contact support at LinkedIn and ask for a free trial. They'll give you a 30-day free trial. Just simply say, I'm not real sure. I want to see what features are there. By the way, could you send me a list of features with the free trial membership and find out more, experiment with it. You've got 30 days on them to make a decision. And personally, I use it with regularity. There are lots of little features in there that I really like. But for you in job search mode, you've got to make your own decisions. So I just want to encourage you, consider becoming an Insider Premium member or a paid member of some sort, so that in this way you get more in-mails. You're able to use AI on your profile, and it'll help you with decisions on job descriptions and applying for jobs, so that you can tailor your profile to include particular skills or particular experience that you may have that isn't highlighted well enough, and much, much more. So again, consider becoming an Insider Premium member and see how it works for you. Now, I received a number of questions during my break that I didn't answer, and I'm going to start answering now. It'll probably take me another week or two of shows before I get fully caught up, but that's what I'm trying to do today. Start to catch up on all the stuff that was sent to me while first helping my wife recover from open heart surgery, and then taking some time with her to support her during the Christmas, New Year's break. So let's go with question number one, which is, should I apply for a job that might not be suitable to me? I'm going to play with the words here, suitable to me as well as suitable for me. Now, sometimes, and this is for the suitable to me option, it makes sense to do it for the simple reason that you may need interview practice. And you're going to learn that pretty quickly in the course of your interviewing. Now, applying for a job doesn't mean you're even going to get an interview. It's funny, I was sharing something with someone today, and the idea is men tend to submit their resume if their backgrounds fit 60% of the job requirement. Women hold out for 100% or pretty darn close to it. So I'll simply say, if you want to know whether you should apply for a job that might not be suitable to me, well, consider it as interview practice. You may discover that there's some things that you like or some things that you can confirm disinterest you about the role. Now, the other option is, should I apply for a job that might not be suitable for me? And, when I did recruiting, it used to drive me crazy. I get these junior programmers with 1 year of experience who apply for CTO jobs, Chief Technology Officer jobs. It was a colossal waste of my time. If you're pretty close, go ahead. If they're asking for 15 years of experience and you have 5, that's not even in the ballpark. So in terms of suitable for me, I equate that with not being qualified to perform the job as defined. A 15-year person has much more significant experience and more substantial experience than someone with 5 years of experience. You know that. If you don't, you're not paying attention to your boss's capabilities. So I'd simply say those are the ways to judge whether or not you should apply for a job that's not suitable for me. Are you pretty close to what they're looking for? Or is this purely aspirational? I'd really like to do that job, but they're looking for someone with 15 years of experience, and I've got 3, and they're looking for someone who has previous director experience, and I really wanted to be a director. That's not going to work. Spare yourself and the reader the time that you'd be stealing from them by applying for that job and making them read your resume. So I'll simply say the long and the short of it is, it depends. In terms of applying for a job that's not suitable to me, only consider it if you need practice on interviewing. If it's about applying for a job for me, well, that's completely different. Okay. Let's go to another question. And again, if you've got a question about your job search, put it in the chat so I can answer it live. Okay. And for those who've been with me before, I don't bite, at least not too hard anyway. So here's my next question. How do I apply for a job that may not be hiring? So there's no job. Let's start with the impression, that the very specific thing in your question. Apply for a job at a company that may not be hiring. They may not need what you have. They may not need anyone because they're fully staffed and they don't have the budget to bring someone on. The only way to really do it and have a chance is to network your way to the hiring manager or managers and simply say, I'm really interested in working for your firm. I don't know if there's something that you have open in the new budget that might fit me, but this is what my background is. This is what I've done. These are my successes. I'd love to have a chance to talk with you about my background and see if there might be a role that you think makes sense for me with you. And that's really it. Beyond that, you're in a situation where you're like spamming your resume. Spamming does work. Not very often, but it does work. And often you're going to waste people's time, including your own. And it's not really going to get you many interviews. Get you some, maybe, but you don't want to think of yourself as a spammer, do you? And if it doesn't matter to you, that's okay. But the reality is you're not going to get a lot of interviews by engaging in a process of searching for jobs at companies that may not be hiring without working at developing a reputation with a hiring manager where they get to know, like, trust, and respect you, and thus they're willing to talk with you. Okay? So we've got a lot more questions to cover today. And this one is it a good or a bad idea to tell your current employer which company you'll be working for next? Bad idea. Bad idea. Now, there's a couple of reasons I think it's a bad idea. The first one is that manager's natural response or that HR person's natural response is to say, you're going to work for them and try and dissuade you from leaving, because why do they really care where you're going to work? Why does it matter to them except to use it as a sales tool or to use it for data purposes? It's not like they're going to turn around and say, you're going to work for them? You must be better than we thought. Wow. Maybe we should talk about you staying. Wow. Doesn't work that way. So all they can really do is wish you well or try and dissuade you from leaving by making it seem as though you're going to work for the dumpiest firm on the planet and you must be an idiot for going to work there. So I'll just simply say, don't tell them. Nothing good comes out of it at all. Seriously, nothing good ever comes out of telling a firm where you're going to work. I've got another question. I got a call from HR this evening and was told that I had been selected. She said it would take 14 days for receiving an offer letter. Can I be assured that I would definitely get one? I can assure you, but what do I know? And the fact of the matter is 14 days, 14 calendar days, 14 business days. I'm going to assume calendar days, and what they're saying is it's 2 weeks for us to get all the paperwork signed to extend the written offer to you. I know you've accepted the oral offer, but we're going to take 2 weeks to get an actual offer letter to you. Seriously? Keep interviewing. Because there's no guarantee until you have the offer letter. And for some people, they've experienced getting the offer letter and still having the offer rescinded. So keep interviewing. It just makes sense until such time as you have the letter. And they say, are you still talking to firms? So, well, yeah, I don't have an offer letter from you. But I told you we're making an offer. But until I have an offer letter, there's no protection. So until I have the offer, as soon as I get the offer letter and the data is what you've told me, I'm prepared to say yes, sign off on it, and come to work for you. But until that time, well, frankly, I'm going to keep looking because I don't have an offer without an offer letter that confirms you get the idea. Okay? And I'll just simply mention, if you've got questions for me, put it into chat so I can answer them live, okay? Now, I've got more questions I received, and let me enter one of them into chat now. I'm in a good mood. I've got a busy afternoon. I love busy days. And my wife is getting better, which is fabulous. Now, open heart surgery is no joke. They cut you open. They pull apart your chest so they can get to your heart. And they had to replace one of her heart valves, which means they stop your heart for a period of time. It is amazing what can be done these days, but the long and the short of it is she's on the road to recovery. It was a rough first week out of surgery, but she's much better now. Now, is it a good or bad idea? Oh, sorry, I did that one already. Here we go. Did I? Yeah, I answered that one. My apologies. Okay, here we go. I apologize. I made a mistake. I'm rusty. It's been 3 weeks since I did one of these. I made a mistake. Please forgive me. So here's the next question, okay? I got a call from HR. Oh, same one. I apologize. Why is it not? I think I know what's happening. I made the same mistake. There it is. Is it acceptable to quit your job on the first day if you feel the position is not what was described to you during the interview process? What I would do instead of quitting on the first day is meet with my manager or meet with my boss and say, I'm a little confused here. I had the idea from my interviews and from the offer and from everyone I met with that I would be doing this work. And instead, I'm doing this work. And that isn't really what I signed up for. Did I misunderstand something? Oh, no, we just need you to cover for a week or two until such time as we get someone on board to do this work that we've got you temporarily assigned to. I understand. I just want you to understand that I'm not going to do this job forever. And if you think you can pawn this off on me, I'm going to politely say to you, I don't want to do this work for very long. So it's really important for you to find someone to take over this work so I can do what I was hired to do. So you don't necessarily quit. In this scenario, what I suggest that you do is let them know, first clarify, I had the idea that the job was going to be this because I had been told what the job was, and it sure as heck wasn't what I'm now being asked to do. So I can do it temporarily if you really need me to, but I want to be clear. I don't want to do this kind of work forever, okay? And that's really the way that you handle it. Here's a fun one. I think of this as a dumb question, but is it acceptable to, I'm sorry. There it is. I keep not scrolling far enough. How do you make your resume stand out to hiring managers? Easiest way is to make sure that it fits the role as it was written. So don't make them read between the lines. Don't make them engage in a big effort in order to move things forward. Instead, make it obvious as though a 6-year-old was reading the resume that you're qualified to do the job that they asked for you to do. And that becomes a great way to stand out. Now, if we're talking about applying for a job through an applicant tracking system as part of this, the way you would do this is make page 1 of your resume your actual cover letter. Why would I do that? Easy. Page 1 would read, I'm forwarding my resume to you for such and such position that I saw advertised on LinkedIn, for example. This is how my background meshes with the role. Flush left. What you do is you list all the requirements of the position and all the functionality that they ask you to do that you've actually done. Flush right is how long and how recently you've done that. So let's say it was accounting of a specific type. Let's say it was hedge fund accounting. 4 years is the way it would read in the right-hand column. And you say 4 years current. and thus they could see that you've actually had experience with it. Now, the fun thing is by making it page one of your resume. If you're submitting it through an applicant tracking system, what you're doing is keyword stuffing page one of the resume, and then in the actual resume that begins on page two, the system is going to see terms that it's looking for. And again, we're working with the reference of hedge fund accounting. So the idea is you want to give it repetition, and it wants to look frequent. Putting it on page one makes it look current. And by having it repeat itself in the body of the resume, it gives it recency and currency, and you're more likely to get asked for an interview. Now, how to stand out to the hiring manager after you've been selected by the software is really pretty easy. When firms hire, competence is only one thing that they look for. They'd like to see self-confidence, character, chemistry, maybe a little bit of charisma, that you care, that they can connect with you because they want to trust you. So the long and the short of it is, how do you make your resume stand out? Demonstrate a real fit for the role. Show it as being recent skills. Use the terms in the job description frequently. And then once you're being interviewed by phone or in person or Zoom, make it clear what you've done that relates to the role. Okay. And Jordan, hi. Things are getting better here, and I hope you're having a great day. And I know we're going to be talking later. Okay. Let's see now. I've got a couple of more questions for today. And let's see now. Oh, this is a lengthy one. Bear with me while I copy and paste this into chat. Okay. Cool. So what we've got here is the next question, which is, what's with these employers who do a 2 or 3 tier interview process? Like, really? You haven't made up your mind enough yet that you need 2 more interviews, 2 more that I have to invest my time and effort in and get my hopes up for? Well, let me ask you a question. When you date someone, do you propose marriage on the first date? Or do you go out on a couple of dates with them, or years of dating before you drop down on one knee and propose marriage to them? I suspect it takes some time for you to make that kind of commitment, especially if you're dating multiple people. You're just not sure, who do I really want to spend time with? Saturday night is going to be with her or her, him or him. I don't know. And thus, hiring people is like dating. Many people wind up in situations where they have multiple good choices, and they're trying to figure out which choice is best for them. And they're not sure, and they're afraid of making a mistake because mistakes are expensive and costly. That part we all can agree on. True? So they're taking their sweet-ass time about choosing someone because the fact is they're not sure and they don't want to make a mistake. So they keep dating until they're ready to propose marriage. That's the fact of it, okay? I've got a couple more, but I'll just simply say, if you've got a question for me, put it into chat so I can answer it live. And of course, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. And become an insider member at JobSearch.community for free. No gimmicks here, for free. Go to JobSearch.community, enter the click the button that says Become an Insider, choose the option that says Insider, and then at checkout, enter Insider Free, all one word in caps, and you'll become a free member as an insider level and have access to all my video courses, books, and guides, okay? We've got a couple more questions today, no more than 2, I would say. Is it a good idea or bad idea to tell your current employer which company you'll be working for next. Bad idea. Bad idea, no question about it. And the reason it's a bad idea is because all they're going to do is try to persuade you to stay with them. Did I just do that? I'm sorry. I went to the wrong question. I knew it was familiar. What does it mean when someone asks for your LinkedIn profile instead of your resume during a job interview? The probability is you got the interview because of your resume, and they're going to your LinkedIn profile because they want to see whether what you've reported in one place is congruent with what you've demonstrated in the resume. So they're going there because they want to see if it's the same information. That's the fact of it. So I'm working with the assumption. Actually, there's one other possibility, and that is you were referred into this job and they know you're not actively looking, but they want to see a copy of your resume to get a clearer picture of what you've done professionally. So two possibilities. One is to see whether your resume and LinkedIn profile are congruent with one another. And secondly, if you were referred, they want to make it easy and just have a look at your LinkedIn profile to see what you claim to have done, and the claim is what you're publicly messaging. So I'm Jeff Altman. Hope you found today's show helpful. I'll be back next Tuesday with more. Again, visit my website, JobSearch.community. Sorry, become an insider there. Where are we? There we go. Become an insider at JobSearch.community. And the way to do that is scroll down, click Become an Insider, click on the Insider link, and at checkout, enter the coupon code Insider Free, all one word in caps. And you'll have free membership at JobSearch.community. Also, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. And one thing I don't mention often enough, subscribe to No BS Career Advice on LinkedIn. And you'll get a weekly newsletter on Sundays. Review it whenever you like, with links to articles I've written, links to articles other people have written that I think will be helpful to you in your career. So that's No BS Career Advice. That's the e-zine that I'm talking about. I hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great. Take care.